Welcome to TeachBot for English. These screenshots will introduce you to TeachBot, explain the working screen and features, show you how TeachBot uses examples to demonstrate writing skills, and gives you all the tips and explanations needed to make you an expert writer and reader, as well as activities that sharpen up your exam skills and your concentration, and how you can create a personal revision booklet. So, let's get going. Your TeachBot working screen looks like this.
On the work window you'll see an answer section. This is where TeachBot talks to you, and also over here, and an input box. This is where you put your questions or comments to TeachBot. You'll also see some tabs at the top and the bottom of the screen. Firstly, I'm going to look at the Help tab. I click it. This takes you through the functions just as I'm doing. You're invited in the answer box here to open up the explanation by clicking yes. Here goes. And it opens up a screenshot which indicates the features that TeachBot will talk to you about. Simply click on Next to be shown how all the features work. However, we don't need to do that here. I'm just going to clear the screen. To the right of the Help tab is the Options tab. Tap this and you'll find there are a number of options to change the background to the screen. I'm going to click on an arrow . I think I'm going to use Sparkle. That's great. Okay. The Close tab up here takes you back to the TeachBot portal rather than taking you out of the system completely. Now, let's go to the bottom of the screen. We'll start with Topics. I click that, and a floating pop-up topics list appears. Each of the topics refers to key skills of writing and reading. These are exactly the skills that are assessed in English and English language exams, and which are important right across the curriculum. You may recognise these terms as those used by your teachers to point to strengths and needs in writing or in reading. Go into any of them and TeachBot will start a conversation with you in the answer window. You speak to TeachBot through the input box. Let's go for sentences. Here I've clicked Sentences, and TeachBot's asking me to choose the conversation I want. How to use a variety of sentences in my writing, or to have explained the different types of sentences. We'll come back to look at how best to use the input box and get TeachBot's responses in a few ticks. I'm just going to clear the screen again. Also very useful is the glossary. This is worth having open whenever you're doing English work. I click it. The glossary simply lists the terms that are commonly used to describe the conventions of English grammar and syntax, features of writing, ways of describing what you read. It provides quick and simple explanations, often giving examples to go with them. Let's have a look at one of them. Let's go for complex sentence. I click it, move that out of the way. On the screen on the left hand side you have an explanation of a complex sentence, and on the right hand side you have an example. Another way to find glossary explanations, often giving examples to go with them, is to simply type into the input box the particular term you're looking for. I'm going to type in mock heroic. It's a type of style that I've been told about. Click send, and here we have a definition of mock heroic and an example. You'll see that after the explanation is a continue link. This takes you straight back to where you were working, so it's easy to dip in and out of glossary terms as you're holding your conversation with TeachBot. Another way into the glossary is through the words that are highlighted in blue in the answer text. Whenever TeachBot thinks it might be useful, there's a direct link to the glossary. So here, for example, there's a link to the term irony. I'll click it, and up pops an example and an explanation. Oops, I can't spell. There we go. Let's go to the next tab, the example tab. I click that. Now this is a list of common forms of writing used in English coursework and examinations. Let's have a look at how it works. Now I'm going to click on one of them, brochure or leaflet. An example of a brochure opens up on a separate screen. If it doesn't, just check that your computer allows pop-ups. Here it is. I'll just place it over here so I can work on my TeachBot screen at the same time. Now on my computer I can hold this example as a working model of this form of writing all the time I'm writing my own leaflet or brochure or talking with TeachBot. If your computer screen isn't large enough to do this, you can simply minimize and toggle between the example and the TeachBot window. In the answer section here, you can follow up what it asks. TeachBot will take you through the process of writing this brochure from start to finish, analyzing the question, planning the content, designing the layout, looking at special features of this form of writing, all the things you might do to make the perfect brochure. Let's have a look at the second side. There we are. Of course, you can get to the same examples through typing in the form of writing you're working on in the input box. By the way, all the examples are written on ordinary Microsoft Word processing software, and the level of difficulty is designed to be achievable by students aiming at GCSE. Now for the final tab. Just clear here. The FAQs. I click FAQs and up comes a screen saying common questions. Let's go for FAQs and I'll go for writing. The FAQs give you the sort of questions that students ask about and allow you to see what an answer is. It's a useful, engaging way to revise, to think about the issues that other students have with their work. Now, we've looked at all the tabs. All of their information may be reached through the conversation you have with TeachBot in the input box and the answer window. It's here that TeachBot takes its user on a unique journey responding to the individual inputs. You need to start with the general area you want to go to, whether it's reading or writing. Let's go for reading. TeachBot sometimes checks your question to make sure and starts to lead you to where you need to go. Here, with reading, up comes a list of areas you might need to go through. I'm going to check my reading techniques, for example. And another agenda appears, inviting me to look at various reading techniques, reading skills. But no, I've changed my mind. I've just remembered I actually need to go to writing. I have a lesson to get ready for. I could type in go to writing, or I could use the back button to go to a previous screen, or I can simply tell TeachBot what the task is in the lesson. I want to write a story. Here are things I might look at when writing a story or a narrative. See what it says about narrative. And this could be very useful. All the aspects of writing a story are coming up here. However, the last time I wrote a story, it was my description that let me down. I saw a description on the previous menu, so I'm going to go back to that. Press the Go Back button, and yes, there it is, descriptive writing. Let's have a look here. This is more like it. The third one, how to interest the reader with description. I think I might start there. I click that, and up comes things that I might start to look at. Sentence variety for interest. I wonder what that is. Now this is exactly what I need. And because I can be forgetful, I'm going to save this information and the example. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to paste it on a Word document that I've opened up here. I need to resize the font, and I'm going to take the example as well. And I'll need to resize that. Go for that as a bit bigger than the information. Excellent. I'm just starting to create a revision book for myself. Cutting, copying and pasting from TeachBot and adding my own notes or my teacher's comments to it. It's an excellent way to use TeachBot. So, that's covered the basics. You'll soon find your own way around. Once you get the hang of using TeachBot, you'll find it'll really help develop your English skills and take you on a personal journey to success in English exams. If you get stuck, or if TeachBot doesn't seem to understand you, simply put in different words. Use the back button. Take a different route. I'm sure you'll get along with TeachBot and with the challenges that TeachBot's going to give you. Whoops.